Hello and welcome to Friday right here on TV47 with me, Karen Karimi. Tonight on our show, I host Andrew Muthure, famously known by his stage name as Mustafa, is one of the most talented actors who was featured in the Mother-in-Law TV series. Mother-in-Law was watched by many due to its interesting storyline, which left many glued to their televisions. Keep it Friday for that interview later in the broadcast. You can engage with us on social media, Facebook and Twitter on TV47KE. My Twitter handle is at Karimi_Karen. But first, the day's highlights.
Tonight,
this election, Kenya Kwanza is the place for the women of Kenya.
Deputy President William Ruto promises mothers of 3-month supply of diapers for newborn babies.
The face of this election is a woman. She is called Mama Mboga.
The DP says if elected president, he will do away with charcoal and firewood. Also tonight,
Asante sana kwa bwana Munya kwa vile anatafuta soko ya hii miraa tuone pesa ya kurudisha watoto shule.
Export of mira to Somalia to resume in 2 weeks. This is after President Uhuru Kenyatta held talks with President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of Somalia.
Hiki chama.
We shall tell you about presidential aspirants David Wahegar Maori.
Unajua bangi ni mmea. Na mmea wote unaweza ukafanywa kitu, lakini si mimea yote tunakula.
Maori has rubbished Wajakoya's proposals on bang.
Welcome to the program. Now, Deputy President William Ruto now says the Kenya Kwanza Alliance will provide free sanitary pads for all girls if he's elected Kenya's 5th president in the August polls. And as Chepto Boet reports, the Kenya Kwanza Alliance has promised free diapers for every newborn baby for a period of 3 months. The DP vowing to implement a return to school plan for teenage mothers and increase resources to school feeding programs if he forms the next government.
Dances. Yellow is the color of the day. Women from all parts of the country turned out in large numbers to witness the signing of the Kenya Kwanza Women Charter by Deputy President William Ruto today at the Nyayo Stadium. The second in command, who was the chief guest at the ceremony, insisted that the face of his campaigns is a woman called the Mama Mboga and that his government will have a big number of elected women leaders.
I commit on behalf of Kenya Kwanza Alliance that we shall allocate 50% of all cabinet positions to the women of Kenya. To establish a women rights agency to be housed under the office of the president with a mandate to address sexual and gender-based violence, including protection against early marriages, female genital mutilation, abuse of domestic workers locally and internationally, and the establishment of county rescue centers for victims of SGBV.
DP Ruto has assured women that he will make sure the 2/3 gender rule prevails 3 months after ascending to power. He has also assured all mothers that his government will provide their newborn babies with diapers for the first 3 months upon delivery.
That the government of Kenya will double the amount of money allocated to school feeding program to make it possible to increase the number of children benefiting under this program from 2 to 4 million to period poverty by providing sanitary pads and sanitary towels to all our girls. And that is for free.
Ruto has promised to eradicate the use of firewood and charcoal and instead make cooking gas affordable to all Kenyans.
Do hereby commit to establish the Hustler Health Care Program. By December 2022, every Kenyan, including every Kenyan woman, shall be insured or shall have health insurance at affordable premiums, and where they cannot afford, the government of Kenya will pay.
All eyes on Deputy President William Ruto as he promises to prioritize the needs of women and give them a voice in what he says his government will be consulting women in decision making if indeed he clinches the country's topmost prestigious seat. Chepto Boit, Nyayo Stadium, Nairobi.
Also tonight, President Uhuru Kenyatta has outlined the gains his government has made through the repossession and restructuring of the National Youth Service, giving a lifeline to hundreds of thousands of NYS graduates. And as Mwangi Maina reports, President Kenyatta has called on employers to give first preference to the NYS graduates, adding that over 2,000 graduates have already been absolved by different government agencies.
It was a colorful pass-out parade at the National Youth Service Training Academy in Gilgil, Nakuru County, where 9,465 recruits graduated after a rigorous 6 months paramilitary training. The passing out was graced and presided over by President Uhuru Kenyatta, who took great pride in the milestones his government has achieved in reforming the NYNCs he took over. President Kenyatta has lauded the service for churning out youth ready to solve the socio-economic problems facing the Kenyan society. The president says the annual enlistment has increased to 30,000 youth as compared to the 4,000 yearly enlistment when he took office in 2013.
This number, if compared to the number of youths the service had recruited between 1964 and 2012, is exactly the same. So in the shorter period, we have had exactly the same number of young men and women who have gone through these gates, and we are very proud of this fact.
Uhuru has lauded the NYS graduates who have been contracted to undertake national programs, including the construction of roads, hospitals, police posts, drilling of boreholes and water pans, as well as the establishment of 696 youth savings and credit societies. The president also recognized the role played by the recruits in fighting desert locusts and planting over 1 million tree seedlings.
Through this service, we were able to add 557 kilometers of rural access roads to modern standard in various parts of the country. And today I am informed that you are now moving into building and constructing tarmac roads. Hongera.
While urging employers to give first preference to NYS graduates due to their training and discipline, Uhuru says more than 2,000 graduates have been enlisted in different government entities, including 1,000 in the disciplined forces. Other sectors that have seen NYS graduates absorbed include the Kenya Prisons and the Kenya Airports Authority.
The administration has secured 2,649 job placements for NYS graduates, and of these, KDF and the National Police Service have recruited 500 each. Kenya Prisons has absorbed 61.
Today, Your Excellency, the best gift the Council, management, staff, and their own National Youth Service family can give you is a firm commitment that the National Youth Service will remain a sustainable, strong institution that develops the youth for socio-economic development of this country.
The president has called on the NYS Council to prepare the youth for the future in this fourth industrial revolution by introducing in their curriculum artificial intelligence, robotics and genetic engineering, among others, so as to adapt to the future technological changes. Mwangi Maina, TV47.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya presidential running mate Martha Karua today took her campaigns to Makueni County, where she continued to rally residents to vote for Raila Odinga in the August polls. Mudhoni Maina with the details.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya running mate Mother Karua took her campaigns to Makueni County, where she continued to drum up support for Raila Odinga's presidential bid.
Mahali ukiona mama yako amesimama, ujue maneno yako haiwezi kasahaulika.
According to Karua, her competitors from the Kenya Kwanza Alliance are not honest, saying they lack a clear agenda for Kenyans. Sentiments echoed by Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu.
Uangalie kila mtu. Mimi nasema hakuna mtu anaomba urais ametoka nchi jirani. Wote ni watoto wa Kenya. Lakini hata wewe mzazi na uko na watoto kadhaa, si unajua kila mtoto, na iko mtoto uwezi tuma kwa nduka na wako.
Kuko na upande huu na kuna upande mwingine. Ni kama usiku na mchana. Hakuna mtu hata yule hana macho.
Elsewhere in Kisii County, Nyanza region, head of the Azimio campaigns, John Mbadi, continued to preach the Azimio gospel, rallying residents to vote for Raila Odinga in the August polls. Mbadi was accompanied by Kisii Governor James Ongwae.
Keep on fighting hard even when you know that you have won the thing, because we are winning this thing.
Ile asilimia kwamba tuliona juzi ilitolewa, Mungu akipenda mwisho wa mwezi huu lazima itakuwa 78. Nimekasirika sana kuona kwamba kuna asilimia 21 imekwenda kwa mtu wa UDA.
Mbadi fired shots at DP William Ruto's running mate Rigathi Gachagua, terming him as an unsuitable candidate for that position.
And if you have people like Gachagua who have not gone to school properly, they will now emphasize on things that are irrelevant. If you have Gachagua as your deputy president, you are in trouble because they have no capacity to synthesize and understand economic manifestos and put it out there and tell Kenyans Raila is not the right president because what he's saying is not achievable.
Tomorrow, the Azimio Brigade will continue to traverse the Ukambani region as they cast their nets deeper for more votes, led by presidential hopeful Raila Odinga. Muthoni Maina, TV47.
Moving on, presidential candidate David Wahegar Maori has told off his opponents over what he termed as poor leadership and lack of clear agenda as they seek to replace President Uhuru Kenyatta in the August polls. In an exclusive interview with TV47, Wahegar said George Wajakoya's proposal of legalizing marijuana for medicinal purposes in order to generate revenue is misplaced.
Kwa tukifanya mambo ya manifesto.
With less than 60 days to go to the August general election.
Sasa ndio kazi inaanza. Na Wakenya sasa ndio watasikiza na kujua hasa ni nini. Ni nini tunasimamia.
Presidential candidates have set their eye on the ball, with each optimistic of occupying the house on the hill. We were eager to know who is David Wahegar Maori, who is among the 4 presidential candidates given a green light by the electoral body IEBC. Maori, who is the Agano party leader, has thrown his heart in the ring several times. The politician come preacher contested for the parliamentary seat in 2011 after Simon Mbugwa's election was nullified by the court.
Mimi nilikuwa shule ama law school na yule speaker tuko naye kwa bunge sasa anaitwa Speaker Justin Muturi. Kile kingine ningependa kuambia wananchi, hata huyu ndugu yetu ambaye ameshakuwa sasa ni Senator Moses Wetangula. Huo tulikuwa darasa moja katika university na law school. Kwa hivyo mimi sio mgeni.
Maori is making his second stab at the presidency after he offered himself for the position in 2013 but later on shelved his ambition.
One day in politics can change things. In the next 2 months, mimi naamini ya kwamba Wakenya wataangalia. Kwa sababu hata wamekuwa akisema, je, mbona hakuna mwingine? Je, mbona hakuna mwingine? Na hiyo ndio sababu ingine ilifanya nijitokeze. Kwa sababu mimi najua naweza kufanya vizuri kazi kushinda walikuwemo na wale walikuwemo na nataka kurudi. Kwa hivyo sijachelewa.
With every politician eyeing the top job, promising to fight corruption, create job opportunity among Kenyans, Maura has differed with Ruto's party presidential candidate George Wajakoya, proposal to legalize marijuana.
It's a form of worship. Na hata hiyo hawavutangi tu ati kwa sababu walipe mandeni. Wapi? For me, I'm afraid, lakini nafanya uchunguzi kama mtu ambaye ni mchungaji, mtu wa imani, Mkenya, nina traditions zangu kutoka kwa wazee wetu. It's another form of introducing that voodoo worship yawezekana ama kitu kingine.
If he clinches the presidency, the senior counsel is optimistic of ending corruption in the country.
Ufisadi iko katika damu yetu na haiwezi kukwisha. Lakini tuna nchi kama Singapore, hata Rwanda sasa, you know, South Korea, nchi za Ulaya, hakuna ufisadi. Ukienda huko sasa ile wanafanya ile utafiti, wanaonyeshana Finland na Sweden hata ni below 1% or zero. Niwe rais ambaye aligonga yule nyoka wa ufisadi kichwa akakufa kabisa.
Wahegar has also expressed concerns over the high debt burden in the country, promising to tame the huge borrowing appetite. Paul Kirobi, TV47, Nairobi.
There is finally a ray of hope for mira traders in the country after the Somalia's new president lifted the ban on mira imports from Kenya. This is expected to revive the mira business, with traders elated by the move. Paul Munio with the details.
Soko ya mira itafunguka within the next 2 weeks.
It is a relief for mira traders after Somalia lifted a ban on mira exports. Mira traders from Meru County have expressed their excitement after the Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya announced the reopening of Mira market in neighboring Somalia following talks with the new Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud and Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday.
Ni mazuri na hakika naamini sote tunafaika kama wa Meru, kwa maana Mira ndio kinua mgongo cha wananchi wote wa Meru.
Hiyo soko kwa sababu imefunguliwa huko, serikali imesaidia sana na hata Uhuru amesaidia sana hapo bakiwa na Munya.
Addressing with the press in Meru County, Munya said the talks and agreements have been completed and that the only thing left is signing the agreements between the two states in 2 weeks' time.
Ile inafanywa sasa ni ile kasi preparation work ya kuhakikisha kila kitu iko tayari.
Munya has hinted that access to the Somali market will help secure other foreign markets around the world.
Na hiyo itafungua masoko mengine. Tunajua kuna pia transit trade ya miraa ambayo hufanyika kutoka Mogadishu kuenda kwa nchi jirani, kuenda hata Middle East na kule kwingine ambako hatutaki kusema mengi.
However, as a part of a partnership, the Somali government has ordered the acquisition of a fish market in the country, which the minister says would be accepted.
Najua Somalia wako na nia ya kuuza samaki. Wako na big sea front in their country na very good quality fish and fish products ambazo wangetaka wawe pia wanauza hapa Kenya, na sisi tuwe tunauza miraa na vyakula vile vingine.
This will also help open the Isiolo airport, since the crop will directly be imported from the airport instead of being transported to Nairobi as it was before. The miraa export ban was affected in the year 2020 by the Somali President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo. Paul Munio, TV 47.
A 79-year-old man in Nandi has been remanded at the Nandi Hills police station over claims that he buried the body of a 30-year-old woman believed to be his wife. Our Nandi-based reporter Chris Bett with the details.
In Musasa village in Nandi County, this abandoned homestead became a scene of crime. About 2 months ago, a 30-year-old woman was buried here without the knowledge of the authorities. The homicide detectives had to invade these premises and exhume the body for further investigation.
They buried this lady in a 2-inch hole. 2-inch hole, and the body was raped with clothes. So the body has been removed and taken to the mortuary for more investigation.
As per the court document, the lady going by the name Venda Avendi and the suspect is Naftali Avendi. Naftali was presented in court in May this year as they sought to detain him to allow investigation into the matter.
Burial is an official function. This was not
official procedure. 2, the body is not properly identified. So part of this exercise is we need to identify who died. 2 is know why that person died. I can categorically say why she died.
The neighbor stated that the last time they saw Venda, her leg was swollen and she later went missing. However, little did they know she was no more.
Maisha ya huyu mtu kuishi na bibi yake walikuwa naishi huko chini, lakini kupigana kwa nyumba hapana. Lakini yeye ni kutoka tu nje kuiba peke yake. Na hata bibi yake bila alikufa, sisi hatuwezi kujua. Hata amezika, hata kuzika hatujui. Tulikuta tu bibi amezikwa huko chini. Watu wakagundua kumbe amezikwa huko chini, amekufa amezikwa huko chini.
The chief pathologist says it will take 3 weeks to get the result of the sample being tested before further action is taken by the police regarding the incident. Chris Bet, TV 47, Nandi County.
The Kenya Meteorological Department is set to launch an early warning system on climate change in our county so as to mitigate the effects of erratic weather patterns experienced in that county. The story was produced by Elizabeth Atieno.
The ongoing cold season is causing sleepless nights to the Kenya Meteorological Department, this to the extent that they had to organize a 2-day workshop in Narok County to discuss the change in weather patterns in the country.
Warsha hii ambayo tulikuwa nayo hapa tangia jana hadi leo ilikuwa hususan kufuatilia huduma ya utabiri wa hali ya hewa ambayo tulianzisha karibia miaka 4 iliyopita ili kuweza kuwawezesha wadau katika sekta hii kuweza kupambana na mabadiliko na madhara ya mabadiliko ya tabia nchi.
Siku 2 tulikuwa na warsha ya kuwasomesha washikadau wa Narok kwa njia nyingine mpya. Ile mpya inatengenezwa ndio tujaribu kupeana huduma ya mapema.
According to stakeholders from the agriculture, livestock and transport sectors, the change in weather patterns will greatly affect food production in the country.
Ambaye wakati kutakuwa na mvua ikiwa karibu, ambaye itakuwa ni mvua nyingi, nimeelezwa na tumeshirikiana na hawa vile watakuwa wakitupasa habari ya kwamba mvua ni mingi ili tuweze kueleza wakulima wajiandae kwa kutayarisha mashamba.
Narok County Meteorological Director Peter Runanu said weather equipment will be put in his office to give signals on the weather to residents early enough to alert them on the weather patterns expected.
Kutakuwa na huduma ama machine tutaweka njia za mito, nyanda za juu, ndio sasa mtu yoyote ule anataka atapatia hiyo huduma inaitwa early